everybody. I'm going to give you all a quickie demo to get started on our children's book cover in watercolor. All right, so the most important thing for you as illustrators in working in watercolor is to let it dry between layers, okay? So I'm going to do a little demo with an apple, an orange, and a blue flower. Can you guys see that? And then I really want you guys to watch the other videos in our module, okay? Because those are really going to help out. Alrighty, so I'm going to get started with my apple, and I've made some little shape definition sketch to let me know the light is coming from the upper right. So this is the highlight right here, same with everything else. All right, so I have one of these cute little watercolor kits. This kit is really great because I can take the paint and mix it down here, okay? So, I mean, this red is pretty good. I could add a little yellow to this if I wanted it more yellow, but that's pretty apple-y, you know? All right, so I'm just going to go very lightly. I'm going to use kind of a lot of water, and I'm going to build up the watercolor just like this. Water, pigment, and then I might go back with a paper towel and blot off some of the area, maybe like the highlight area, okay? Like that. All right, and then I'm going to do the same thing because I have to let this dry now. I'm going to do the same thing with my orange. Let's see, okay, I'm going to grab some of this orange color. That's way too dark. So I'm going to grab some of this yellow. And while you guys are messing around with mixing watercolor paints, I want you to remember the color wheel, okay? When you mix watercolor paints, when you mix any paints, you should really only use the paints that are, the colors that are next to each other, okay? So like yellow, orange, and dark orange are great to mix, okay? All right, so I got my little orange. I'm gonna start this. When you mix your color and then it dries on this little cute little tin, you can go back and put water on it after it dries and it'll come back to life. What? I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Okay, a little highlight if I want it. And then this cute little blue flower. I'm gonna add some white to it. Okay. And you guys can't see this, but I have a reference of a little blue flower on my computer so I can see what this blue flower actually looks like. Okay, and I know that there's a little bit of shadow in here. So I'm doing kind of like a stippling technique just to deposit some color on the inside, and then I can run back and maybe do a little bit of highlight, just dropping a little bit of water on the edges where I want the highlight, and then going over it with a paper towel. Okay, kind of like that. All right, I'm going to let this dry and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so I was playing around with this and now it's dry. Now I can go darker. Right here, see how this cool watercolor effect is going on? It's because I added a lot of water to that area. I'm gonna show you what my orange might look like. Okay, with these I want lots of color. Around here, a little bit of color through there. And then same with my apple. I love what's happening under there. Okay. And then my little blue flower. Okay. Eventually, I am going to refine the edges, okay? By that I mean I'm gonna go with a pretty decent pigment and justify these outlines. I'm gonna make this outline a little bit darker than the orange. Give it a little pop, give it a little definition. Okay, so I'm painting on top of the colors that I laid down, okay? I know you guys can do this. See, already that's looking pretty orangey. All right, and then I'm gonna do the same to the other ones. But don't be afraid to go over and over and over this with more watercolor layers, okay? All right, I'll talk to you soon. You got this.